Hello there. Welcome back to the Creative Spark. We are back today talking about my 52 movies in 52 weeks. I believe we're on week 30. I need to count that. I'm definitely still behind on my movies, but today we are catching up on one that I watched 2 weeks ago, and it is called Beautiful Boy. So, Beautiful Boy stars Timothée Chalamet and Steve Carell, and I think it is probably one of their best dramatic performances I've seen. Now, I will say, and I'll quickly say, not quickly say, but I actually think that Steve Carell's dramatic acting is so underrated. He is genuinely an actor that can do everything. He is obviously celebrated for his comedy genius, and he's excellent in that. But anytime I see him in something more dramatic, I am constantly surprised. And I'm like, he can literally do the full range of emotions, comedy to drama. He is a excellent actor, and he is underrated in terms of his spectrum of what he can do. So I'll start by saying that. I will say I've seen quite a few Timothée Chalamet films. I've seen films he's done where he's had a lot of positive critique. Is that what I'm going for? I don't know where I was going with that. But this is, I think, I've watched quite a few Timothée Chalamet films, and I think this is his best work that I've seen. I haven't seen all of his work. I've seen quite a few things. Honestly, really didn't love him as an actor the first time I saw him. I saw him in as Laurie in Little Women, and honestly, I just loved the 90s version so much that when I saw that film, I didn't really rate it. But then I watched other Greta Gerwig films, went back and watched it, and was like, this is superb. Like, it's so good. It's so well written. Um, and has, Timothée, Timothée has grown on me. Really has. He's an excellent actor. But in this, he was next level good. Now, obviously, he was recognized for that. So this film, I made some notes this time so I don't go off track. But this film earned Chalamet noms at the Golden Globes, the SAG Awards, the BAFTAs, and the Critics' Choice Awards. The whole film has excellent direction, cinematography, and honestly, for me, the music. It was an interesting use of music. Like, there was a few scenes where it was just use of sound, and but it was well placed. So there wasn't a lot of a soundtrack, but where they chose to put sound and music in truly helped emphasize the emotions that these characters were going through. I realized I didn't go into what this film was about. I know this is not a well-known film. This was a recommendation from one of my best friends. She loved this film. She loves Timothée Chalamet. She loved this film, and she has said to me it was one of her favorite films ever, but she could never rewatch it. And I completely understand that. So, Beautiful Boy is based on a true story. It is based off the memoirs of Nick and David Sheffs, and it is their true story. So, their memoirs are called Beautiful Boy, A Father's Journey Through His Son's Addiction, and which is David, who is the father, and then Nick, who is the son, and it is tweaking growing up on methamphetamines. The story is about Nick's struggle with drug addiction. He is addicted to crystal meth, and which has the lowest survival rate of any drug. And it is his journey, or their journey. It is mostly from the father's point of view, which is Steve Carell, and how that affects his, like, Nick's, the son's family, their dynamic, and it goes through several attempts at being clean, time periods where he almost dies, it deals with some very sensitive topics and is, yeah, obviously more from the father's point of view and how it affects the people, like drug addiction affects the people around the person. Honestly, it was an excellent film. It was, I cried many times just from their dynamic and how much this, like David Sheff loves his son. And at one point, he had to let him go because it was affecting his younger children, um, and his own mental health. And he tried and tried and tried until he just had to let go. And you see how, like, a really good depiction of how people and families get to that point where they are at their breaking point and people no longer have a support system because they continuously push them away. Honestly, Nick's story was really well told. He is now, so the movie came out in, I want to say 2022. I would have to go and look that up. Um, and at the time the movie came out, he was sober for 8 years, and he was in the 3% of success stories of actually getting clean. And that is, it was a miracle. It was an actual miracle that that man is alive, is still alive today, and is using his experience to help others. And it's like, it is a reason why he's probably was part of the 3%, was because he, maybe that was what he was meant to do, to help other people. Anyway, I think that's all I'm going to go into. I do not have experience with drug addiction or people around me having that disease, so I don't have a clear, or I don't see, it's hard to talk about because I can only sympathize, I can't empathize. I'm not well read on this subject, so I'm not really going to go into it because it's not my place. But all I'm going to say is there is help out there, and I encourage anyone who is struggling to find the resources. But again, this is not my area of expertise. I'm here to talk about movies, not more intense subjects. But when you watch films about them, you have to touch on it. So, anyway, I would encourage people to watch Beautiful Boy. It's an excellent film, and you just watch it for the acting alone. If obviously it is a triggering film, so I would advise people to proceed with caution. However, I'm so glad I watched it, and I would agree with my friend, probably would never watch it again. Maybe could if I was like asked to do more details on it, but I think once was enough. and but I would encourage other people to watch it. And that is all I'm going to say today. We're going to wrap it up here. I hope that everyone is having a lovely week, and I'm going to see you next time on the Creative Spark. Don't forget to subscribe down below and hit the bell icon to get a notification when I post new videos. And otherwise, I'm going to see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.